He just couldn't keep his nose out of it.
But you should keep your big nose out of other people's business.
Do solemnly swear to keep my nose out of Kelly's business. Besides, I took a solemn vow to keep my nose out of her business.
Maybe you need to keep your nose out of my business.
I've told him it is nothing to do with him and to keep his nose out of it.
What about the...
All right, well, to sum up, focus on science, keep your nose out of other people's business.
At 30 or 40, a gathering of my old classmates would have been exactly the kind of thing I'd have kept my nose out of. But...
If you need someone to take the bull by the horns, bend your gun.
Sometimes you gotta read a situation and take the bull by the horns.
Yeah, that's me taking the bull by the horns.
Oh, you mean taking the bull by the horns?
Okay, you just gotta confront this. Grab the bull by the horns and deal with this shit.
I'm trying.
It's up to you to take the bull by the horns. Make something happen.
Only in America can a group of young people take the bull by the horns and make something happen.
Does your wife want a man that grabs the bull by the horns? Or does your wife want a man that can barely finish 2 patties and 1 burger?
What I'm talking about is how Wesley realized his action figures were selling like hotcakes.
Oh my goodness, they're selling like hotcakes.
In the meantime, all my cupcakes sold like hotcakes.
Like those dolls, they're selling like hotcakes.
I need to get a bunch of these because they're gonna sell like hotcakes.
I know, these things are selling like hotcakes, which is ironic because the hotcakes really aren't moving.
Iris, they'll sell like hotcakes down on Wall Street.
Well, something like that would sell like hotcakes up here.
We really want to spend Thanksgiving with you, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. Won't take no for an answer.
But he's also the first person that would tell you never to take no for an answer from anyone.
Do not take no for an answer.
Listen, I know what I'm telling you is the right way to go, and I am not gonna take no for an answer.
This one can't take no for an answer.
I said I need you to bury that news, and I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Jeff fucking insisted on bringing me to work today, and he wouldn't take no for an answer.
You could hit the ground running.
No, I still have the time off. But they want me to hit the ground running first of the year.
I thought the plan was to hit the ground running. How you gonna...
The rest of you stop crying and figure out how we're going to hit the ground running in 3 weeks with new work.
Tomorrow, you hit the ground running.
I'm bringing you into my land use bill because you strike me as the type of guy who knows how to hit the ground running.
Yep. Maybe you could schedule a staff meeting so I could hit the ground running on Monday.
We want to start retraining people ASAP so we can hit the ground running with the new system.
But I will be over the summer, so I'm trying to adjust my internal clock to the local time so I can hit the ground running mid-out jet lag.
We're living paycheck to paycheck.
I mean, we were basically paycheck to paycheck.
We're already living paycheck to paycheck.
Most people live paycheck to paycheck, so everything they do, they're doing with cash. You got it.
My parents work from paycheck to paycheck.
Consider a lower-class mother, working 2 jobs, in debt, can't afford a car, living paycheck to paycheck, while trying to take care of her young child.
Why should we live beyond our earnings? Then why do we feel it right to live beyond our means?
In the red, living beyond their means, kids waiting in the wings.
No one living beyond their means.
Living beyond your means. Outgoings constant.
And I only do it because I enjoy living beyond my means.
Honey, you'll come through this with flying colors.
She's passed them all with flying colors.
Amazing. You passed with flying colors.
She had met my friends and passed with flying colors.
He passed his urine test with flying colors.
David's gonna come through this with flying colors, aren't you, bud?
Oh, he's fine. He came through the operation with flying colors.
And if you're lucky when it really matters, you'll pass with flying colors.
So, you know how important the Stoker account is now, and we need to pull this off with flying colors.
Okay, what happened to my hippie sister who's all about spontaneity and throwing caution to the wind?
You tell a guy that he's not wanted on the first day, he's gonna throw caution to the wind to prove himself.
I am throwing caution to the wind when it comes to calorie intake.
I mean, we can't all throw caution to the wind.
You know, throw caution to the wind, be impulsive.
I think when somebody steals your credit card, they've kind of already thrown caution to the wind.
I mean, if I say I love you and just throw caution to the wind and let the chips fall where they may, and you're lying to me, I'm gonna fucking die.
That wonderful time of year when you 2 crazy kids throw caution to the wind and make sweet elbowy love to each other.
A love that stands the test of time. A love story that will stand the test of time.
The only thing that remains are the things that have stood the test of time. Love.
The only partnership in my life that has stood the test of time is this one.
But wise words, sir, stand the test of time.
I want a loving relationship that has depth and meaning and that will withstand the test of time.
He says that literary value depends on surviving the test of time.
It's an amazing piece of music that has really stood the test of time.
But his themes, love, lust, forbidden desire, were universal, which is why his work has stood the test of time.
I thought my family was twisted, but you people take the cake.
Take the cake, you know that.
Well, if this doesn't take the cake.
You really take the cake, you know that.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you, Eric, you take the cake.
Helping you out of this one has got to take the cake.
I gotta say, man, of all my moody and perpetually unimpressed friends, you gotta take the cake, dude.
You are going to land on your feet, Carla.
Don't worry, she'll land on her feet.
You land on your feet as you always have to.
Always knew you'd land on your feet.
You always manage to land on your feet.
Well, how'd you then open up a business and land on your feet?
I'm certain now that no matter what the future may bring, you'll land on your feet.
I'm quite sure that a girl with the talents and abilities of Buffy will land on her feet.
I could always tell in high school that you were gonna land on your feet.
And it's coming down the home stretch!
We're almost done. Home stretch.
Home stretch, guys. Almost there.
I guess that means you're in the home stretch.
Be all right. We're on the home stretch. One more day.
Home stretch, go!
Accelerate into the turns. Don't forget, you...
They round the turn into the home stretch, and it's Celadon Star in front.
Helps to minimize any unnecessary anxiety when you're in the home stretch.
They got blown out of proportion.
How exactly could I be blowing this out of proportion?
I'm probably just blowing this out of proportion.
It's completely out of proportion.
More like Mama had a tantrum, and it all got blown out of proportion.
Oh, I said something about dentists, and it got blown all out of proportion.
So you try to make them look like the bad guy by taking a small thing and blowing it way out of proportion.
I know you think I'm blowing this out of proportion, but it's my thing.
His dad knocked him around a little, and now it's 25 years later, and the story's been blown out of proportion. That's all.
The NFL's a king's ransom, Jake.
Aren't they beautiful? It's a king's ransom. Here, look at this.
Any nation in the world would give him a king's ransom.
Jennings won't do that.
They were ready to pay a king's ransom for that thing.
It cost me a king's ransom to grow them, but people love the classics.
A long time ago. It's a king's ransom if you do it right, Cyrus.
So you sold swagger for a king's ransom, but you couldn't stretch to an espresso machine, Frank.
King's ransom tucked away somewhere, probably right underneath our noses.
Don't you want to be in the driver's seat when that happens?
Negotiations are all about controlling things, about being in the driver's seat.
Let him be in the driver's seat sometimes. I was never even in the driver's seat of my own life.
We all like to think that we're in the driver's seat of our own lives.
We got to get back in the driver's seat on this thing.
Johnny goes away, it's Phil's turn in the driver's seat, and his heart gives out.
Marvin, you're in the driver's seat, but Stuart has some very, very interesting ideas.
Yes. When it came to a crisis, everyone was happy to have Bree in the driver's seat.
Your illness is putting you down in the dumps.
I think she's a little down in the dumps.
And that girl must be really down in the dumps.
He's down in the dumps, but he seems very clear-headed.
But, just been so down in the dumps about it, our marriage.
This is a little tune I wrote for my nephew when he was feeling down in the dumps.
I knew when you stopped showing up at the Bears and the Optimist that you must really be down in the dumps.
Look, without the library job, I'd just be down in the dumps watching you dig up my lawn.
The thing is, we've got this friend, and he's kind of down in the dumps, and we thought maybe you could cheer him up.
I'm torn between nurse and cafeteria worker.
And Lucy's torn between these two things. She's torn between passion and convention.
That was a woman torn between two hunky vampires.
I'm torn between my integrity and my desire to avoid a beating.
I was torn between chicken or beef, but then it hit me.
Oh, what a dilemma to be torn between two gorgeous women.
You're torn between two women.
The word suggests that you are torn between two opposing courses of action.
Prince torn between choosing his kingdom or his queen.
Like right now, I'm torn between the fast-growing fields of appliance repair and motel management.
Do you think I could pick your brain for my movie sometime?
In fact, I'm going to pick your brain for the entire meal.
Would you possibly have any time for me to pick your brain?
Do this job for a week, you'll never use the expression pick your brain ever again.
Maybe when the kids aren't around, I could buy you a drink and pick your brain about the man I'm married to.
I was hoping I could pick your brain about some of the latest breakthroughs in string theory.
I'd love to pick your brain sometime. Get your opinion on local issues, see where there might be an opportunity to get you involved.
I'm starting to think about my second act in life, and I was wondering if I could pick your brain.
We have this small cupcake company that's just begging to be an empire, and I wanted to pick your brain about some business stuff.
150 doesn't exactly break the bank for me, I think.
Draw the eye won't break the bank.
I'm the man who broke the bank, brother.
So your father and I have decided to break the bank and send you to see a real psychiatrist.
Break the bank, find the boy, climb the babe, something.
Won't even break the bank because all you need is a couple kegs of True Blood, seeing as how they don't eat or drink.
The most important life-affirming event in a boy's life. So spare no expense, break the bank.